Historic Allen Fieldhouse. They've been playing basketball here since 1955. There have not been many crowds such as this for women's college basketball. This building just exudes history.
It sure did. It's a basketball museum of sorts. I mean, so much here at Allen Fieldhouse to be excited about. And the Kansas Jayhawks trying to make more history to win a second WNIT championship.
Columbia had to go on the road to take down Bowling Green. They've won 14 road games this year. Number 15 would mean a trophy. We're underway. Our officials, Natasha Kamey, Karen Prieto, Meta Christensen, and the Jayhawks control first. This is a Kansas team that is not terribly deep. They lost to TCU in the Big 12 tournament to probably keep them out of the title game. And meanwhile, Megan Griffith of Columbia knows all about that. She still felt like her team deserved to be in. Megan, both of these teams were able to dispose of the disappointment to get back on track.
They did. Both of these teams absolutely have used it. That fuel is fire to propel them through to this WNIT championship game.
There's Jackson with the offensive rebound, but she missed the putback. This Columbia team, Megan, they are 13th in the country in scoring at 79 a game, and they love to shoot the three.
This Columbia team is a positionless offense. You see, they actually have 5 players on the floor. They can all shoot the three-point ball. They're going to spread you out, and they're going to play quick and fast.
Patrick on the drive. Awkward fall. She missed the shot, but she'll shoot two. There's Brandon Schneider, 8th season at KU. Welcome to Fog Allen Fieldhouse here in Lawrence, Kansas. The WNIT championship game. Brett Dolan, Megan Perry. A couple of free throws from Jada Patrick. And the Kansas Jayhawks have hosted all 6 games. They love to find a way to win this championship, but this tough Columbia team, they have been up for this task all season long. They have been a giant slayer, and they have one more to get a trophy.
Yes, Brett, this Columbia team representing the Ivy League, they play with an edge. And for this team, it stands for energy, discipline, grit, and excellence. Let's see what they have here in this big Jayhawk crowd.
Pratt with the miss. Rebound to Henderson. It's out of bounds. It'll be Kansas basketball.
I think both teams have come out a little bit tight, a lot on the line. They're both playing for that trophy. So I expect the nerves to dissipate over the course of the next few minutes, and we're going to really get down to the nitty-gritty.
You know, that was Coach Schneider's concern against Washington. Maybe they were jittery early with a big crowd. It's even bigger today. That one will help. Mayberry coaxes in the three-pointer. Abby Shue's a scorer. She's a shooter, and she'll rain in the three from distance. Mayberry quickly into the offensive end. Kerskeeter's had a tremendous last few games in the WNIT. Mayberry just hit it, and she'll rattle in another. Young lady, the transfer from Tulsa, has been a nice addition running the point for KU. Pratt airballs the three. Rebound to Kerskeeter. There's Franklin on the floor and scoring easily, and this crowd has something to cheer about early at Allen Fieldhouse.
Well, Kansas is coming out. They're playing at the pace and tempo that Columbia is normally accustomed to, but I don't expect that to rattle the Columbia Lions.
Not just airball the three, and then she rains one in. Davis doesn't want to get into foul trouble. Rebound down to Henderson, the Australian who runs the point. She has a chance with a big assist game to surpass her head coach for the single season record. Shoe off the mark. Rebound Davis, and the putback wouldn't go. Save. How about the run-out? From Prater and one. A hustle play from Chandler Prater. And the fans in Lawrence love it early.
Well, Chandler Prater, just the hustle play, toes the line, gets out in transition, and that's 2 points at the rim. A strong finish from Chandler Prater. This team's emotional leader, Brett.
She's 5'11". She had a 16-rebound game in this tournament against Nebraska. See the double-doubles in the last 6 games. It's a much different start for Columbia at Bowling Green. They led 23-7 early. They never trailed in front of a sellout crowd on the road. Shu, she loves the pull-up. Just a pure shooter and score.
25 turnovers in one game, and to still come out with a win is impressive. So Columbia's going to have to take care of the basketball.
There's the spin from Jackson. She's missed a couple of shots from point-blank range. We've got a tie-up. We've got a timeout. Well, they have a chance today to win a championship.
Yes, and this Columbia team, do not expect them to lay down. They are feisty, they are hungry, and this is a team that believes not only were they supposed to be playing in the NCAA tournament, they believe they're supposed to win the championship here today.
Shu on the drive. Little runner will fall. That's 7 early points for Abby Shu.
Abby Shu with an incredible story. She comes from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Just ripped away by Prater. But Kansas has missed some shots from point-blank range.
Kansas has not been able to finish, so the door is wide open. Many opportunities here for Columbia.
Pratt will hoist a three. Flying in for the rebound is Patrick.
So while Columbia might be undersized, you see how they spread you out, and their guards rebound the basketball.
Henderson got the rebound, and the putback from Pratt will drop. And Columbia with the three-point lead. Good catch by Prater to save. Into the paint, there's a kick out. Skeeter can't get that to fall, and Jackson just ripped the rebound away.
Can you tell there's something on the line this afternoon?
Say so. That was aggressive. Feed Jackson. She needs to see something go through the iron, and it does. Patrick on the drive. There was some bump. She got the ball back, missed the shot. Rebound to Lauder. And that's another block from Jackson. More than 100 of those this season.
China Jackson breaking her own block record from last season, again this season.
Well, she got great position, Megan, and laid it in.
And that's something you cannot do. I'll say as a former undersized post player.
Great crowd. Good game here for the WNIT Championship. Shu catches in the corner. Henderson tipped alive. Physical play. Hey, it ends up in the hands of Paige Lauder, and she will score at the rim.
Abby Shu with the steal. This is what Columbia wants, out in transition. But a turnover right point blank under the basket.
Shot clock shut off. One final possession, you would think, for Kansas. Oh, take it away. Shu, Patrick, the athlete, running the floor, but she missed it. And I think that's going to take us to the end of a first quarter. A first quarter with 6 lead changes. Back and forth we've gone. Columbia shot just 31% from the field, but leading. Open jump shot and a knockdown from Caitlin Davis.
She's getting into the scoring column, but she does rebounding, assists. She's all over the stat sheet.
All right, KU, 6 turnovers. They've got to clean that up in the second quarter.
Definitely. Those 6 turnovers, though, Columbia has not taken advantage. They have 0 points off of those 6 turnovers for Kansas.
Open 3 and a miss from Prater. Run down by Skeeter. High shot off the glass. Everybody's touched the basketball in this possession. Back to Davis. Over Jackson. Nope, that was swatted back. Well, she's blocking 17-foot jump shots.
Tiana Jackson is a rim protector, but she can get out there with her length. She will challenge the jump shot.
No tie-up. The ball's going to be out of bounds.
When you're facing that as the offense, you have to figure out how to pump fake. You can't just catch and let it go. You've got to figure out how to get her off her feet and make her move.
Yeah, you better figure that out quickly, too.
Now, Brett, this is not the pace and tempo that Columbia likes to play at. Half-court sets, while they can execute, they have the advantage when they can get up and down the floor, they can move in the open space.
And they've had a hard time getting an open 3 in the last 6 or 7 minutes of game time. That shot will drop. Open look from the baseline from Talendi. And another miss. This is the first ever meeting between these two schools I think that's one of the fun aspects of this WNIT. Teams that don't play regularly or ever. Another turnover.
I agree with you, Brett. I think it's fun. Both of these teams, though, the early turnovers has a bit to do with them feeling one another out early. It's like a chess match.
Had just 6 points, though, so far in this second quarter. Another miss. Trying to save is Henderson. Great job to save the Pratt. Pratt, NBA three wouldn't fall. An easy rebound for Jackson.
I'm not sure about the shot selection, but Hannah Pratt, make no mistakes about it, she is capable of making that shot. Just not sure it's the best timing.
Well, Jackson left all alone. Columbia daring her to take that jump shot, so she will, and connect.
And the crowd let her know. Tyler Jackson looking around. No one is guarding you, ma'am. You are wide open. She steps up second time.
Henderson on the drive, used her body to shield the basketball, but it's loose on the floor. Picked up by Kansas. Franklin, nifty move. Goes with the left hand, scores, no! Wave it off. Offensive foul.
So she gets loose in the open floor, slicing, dicing the defense, gets to the rim and finishes.
What do you think, Megan?
So sure, but Caitlin Davis had her feet outside that lower arc.
We went to break. Kansas challenged that last foul, Megan. It was reverse, defender in the RA. Basket counts and a chance for three. This is one of these aspects of the women's game I think has really added a lot in the last couple of years.
I would agree with that. I'll say one thing I really love about the women's game also is that three-point line moving back. Last year, it comes from Kaya gets buckets, is what they say.
Well, that's what Columbia needs. More wide open looks for Abby Shue, and she's in double figures.
That's Abby Shue's game, but I think for Kansas, Zakiya Franklin, she is their leading scorer, so she needs to figure out how to get to the basket a little bit more.
It's a Kansas team shooting 32%. Columbia just under 35. There's Lauder. By the way, Jackson already in double figures in rebounds. That's 11 rebounds in the game. Another drive from Franklin. Tremendous free throw shooter at 87%. Hey, tomorrow at 2 Eastern, the ladies of We Need to Talk have got you covered on all things tournament hoops as they gear up for the men's and women's NCAA championships. Catch it all on CBS and streaming live on Paramount Plus. Just a guess, maybe they'll talk a little bit about Caitlin Clark and those Iowa Hawkeyes.
For sure, that was the game to watch last night. I was tuned in, and my oh my, an impressive effort by Caitlin Clark, but those South Carolina Gamecocks, I thought they played the game tremendously and with such class at the end.
Shue fouled. Megan, you talked about Shue, and this is a young lady who is such a survivor. She was at Stoneman Douglas during that awful shooting. Her father on the front lines of COVID lost his life. I mean, this young lady, the youngest of 7 players, she is a warrior. She is a fighter, and I know Coach Griffith's so proud of how she's handled so many difficult things. I
think she's the true definition of it, and right now, Abby Shue and Coach Megan Griffith saying she's supposed to get 3 free throws. She thought that she was at the line for 3 and only got 2.
Our official said 2, but she knocks them both in. Almost taken away by Shue.
Abby Shue's been so active in those passing lanes.
Her length has bothered Kansas, but Franklin has bothered Columbia. That's 9 for the senior from Lakeland, Florida. 1,500 plus points in her career. She's starting to heat it up.
It's going to just continue to get spicier from here, too.
Pratt. Boy, you don't want to get up against the shot blocker, but a nice move to get it off glass. That's rebound number 12 for Tiana Jackson. Running the floor, catching and scoring is Chandler. This might be the biggest crowd the women have ever played in front of in this old building. Columbia used a timeout, almost turned it over. Henderson, the hoist, the hit. What a 3 from Kitty Henderson.
It's a big-time shot from Kitty Henderson. Big-time shot from a big-time player.
That quieted the crowd for just a few seconds. 1-point game, Kansas the lead in the basketball. Tough pass. Jackson the catch. Hasn't been able to finish. The ball was knocked out of bounds.
Kitty Henderson sees the clock winding down. She lets it go, lines it up. That's 3 points. Big shot for Miss Henderson.
Team makes 9 a game on average. They've hit 4 in this first half. Kerskeeter, she's been quiet. She's not scored. She's been in double figures 7 straight games. Nothing today, but there's Chandler Prater. She stepped up and pumped in 7.
Well, Chandler Prater said, that's okay. I got you. I got you. She has been the spark for this team in this first half.
Shot clock shut off, and this crowd, as loud as they have been all game long, and the fans on their feet. Henderson controlled him.
Columbia out of sorts here, getting it to their main scorer.
Shu stepped on the midcourt line, a turnover with 2.4 to play. You know, sometimes court awareness is also just dealing with this atmosphere and this noise.
Yes, and that was a broken play. Hard for Columbia to be able to communicate. They could not hear one another. An unfortunate turnover at the end.
How about this pass? What a catch by Jackson, and fouled.
So smart by Kansas, getting it into your leading warrior player, Tiana Jackson, on the inside. What you cannot do is allow her to get that position. There's 3 Columbia players around her, surrounding her, but the problem is she was already close to the basket.
None of them are 6'6". All Big 12 first-team performer. A couple of misses. 3 ties, 11 lead changes in the first half of this WNIT championship. It's a long season. Then you tack on 6 WNIT games. You're playing with adrenaline for love of the game for these last 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're playing for the love of the game, right? But you're also playing as a competitor. You want to get this done. That's what it's all about. And you're playing also for one another. There's seniors that don't want this to be the way that they go out. Everyone wants to end the season on the win, and one team will have the opportunity to do that, and that is what you're playing for.
Shu with the basketball. Left that one way short. That was a hustle play to get the offensive rebound. And a knockdown from Henderson. She reined in a long one earlier. Hits her second.
Nice start for Columbia. They thrive on that drive and kick type of offense. That was from an offensive rebound, kicking back out, but Kitty Henderson able to hit it. We'll see the scrum on the inside. Jada Patrick gets it, kicks it out to Henderson, lines it up and knocks it down. We're all tied up again.
And just a takeaway. Mayberry had 6 early from one end to the other, but she could not drop it in.
You like the energy, you like the mentality. You just wish you had the finish.
Just the finish. Every one of those misses could be a shot that impacts the game at the end. Don't let Abby Shu get heated up if you're Kansas. Just throw it up. Let Jackson go catch it. Got a little bit creative with the reverse and missed.
With Tiana Jackson, it's all about positioning. She's got to get 2 feet on the block.
Patrick with the baseline 3, and Kansas needs an early timeout.
And I think it was a great couple of minutes for Columbia. They came back and they responded and got out to a good start. You have to do that when you're playing on the road. You can't allow yourself to get into a hole. The first couple minutes of the first half are one of the most important minutes of the game.
Largest deficit for Kansas. Jackson going to work. The rebound by Jackson, who missed a couple of free throws at the end of the first half. But that's 7 for Jackson, chasing what would be her 23rd double-double of the season. 4 of those have come here in the WNIT, a couple of big makes.
Excellent job on the glass. And they could do even better getting to the free throw line.
Prater with the takeaway. Kerskeeter on the drive. Bit of a wild fling. Jackson there to play it up, spin it in, with a chance for 3.
Tiana Jackson gets to her spot. She's deep into the lane with her positioning early. Then's able to get it up on the glass, finish with the contact. What Tiana Jackson, it's all about positioning. That 6'6" frame, it makes it so easy when she's 2 feet from the basket.
Almost another offensive rebound for Kansas, but it'll stay Jayhawk basketball.
But that hustle play, the deflections, the touches, the second chances that are being generated by Prater right now, that's big-time basketball.
I felt a little bit like South Carolina and Iowa last night, but the Hawks were able to overcome it. We'll see if Columbia can do the same. Prater with an up fake. Drives against Davis and scores. It's got it full throat again. Davis, the veteran, with the miss. That's rebound number 15 for Jackson. Kansas shooting for the lead. Jackson, another offensive rebound. Missed the putback, but fouled by Hannah Pratt. Megan, I think your hope, if you're Columbia, once you've dealt with Jackson, you start to get a little bit used to where she is on the floor and how she moves. But if anything, she's really starting to impact this game.
Oh, she is, and that's what, listen, she's a first-team All-Big 12 performer.
Now it's Kansas on an 8-0 run. Each team has had one of those here in our third quarter. Wide right for Patrick. Offensive rebound, Columbia. The drive and the miss from Patrick. And now Kansas will run. Mayberry so quick from one end to the other. High off the glass. No. Guess who's there? Kersketer rattles it in. Her first basket of the game.
And Jackson is down on the baseline.
Oh, no.
I'm not quite sure. I can't even see maybe on the replay. She tries to tip it up. She goes down. Looks like her left foot steps on the ankle of the Columbia player, and she twists that left ankle. You see her grabbing her foot there.
Davis. Jackson will probably be the preseason player of the year in the Big 12. She will be the one everybody will identify when they play Kansas.
We hope that she's okay. Gets up with some assistance.
I'm sure that landing concerned her, and the fans give her a round of applause. She seems to be moving okay, but she's going to walk towards the Kansas locker room, including building this fan base. Second time hosting. They were hosting this game in 2009, but they lost to USF. Like a different result this time. Chu denied near the rim. Well, like the late Willis Reed, Jackson comes running back on the floor.
That's right. And I was just about to say, with Tiana Jackson out, an opportunity for Columbia to attack the rim.
Jackson had the awkward fall. But back on her team's bench. We'll see when she might come back in this game. Working on a 12-17 performance. Henderson had a wild heave earlier. This one, though, doesn't get close to the iron.
Playing one-on-one basketball. And while they can create, it is not to their advantage. They've got to figure out a way to get more motion and make Kansas work a little bit more on the defensive end.
You saw Mom pleased that Tiana Jackson back in the game after a brief trip to the locker room. There's the lob. There's the catch. There's the basket. She's back. 14 points. Danger time for Columbia. Patrick spinning, driving, shooting. Follows her miss. She got the offensive rebound. A tie-up was called. The arrow in possession of Kansas. Since that 8-0 run to start the third quarter, in the first minute and 9 seconds, Columbia has not scored.
Everything has been hard for the Columbia Lions of late.
Big hit. Holly Kersketer.
Columbia Lions, they're a team that averages about 19 assists per game. So I'd like to see them get more touches all around and share the basketball.
Backdoor pass. Chu the catch. Extra look. Henderson with the big three, her third of the game.
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
And at least temporarily quiet this crowd.
I don't know if it's going to get quiet.
Well, it didn't last long. The knockdown again from Franklin. Davis over Jackson. May have been an altered shot, even though it wasn't blocked.
Caitlin Davis is not having her way on the interior. Those are shots that she normally makes, so she's going to have to find a different way to impact this game. It may not be one-on-one on the block in the paint against Tiana Jackson.
Well, you're right, Megan. 19 against Bowling Green, just 2 here this afternoon. About a 5-second difference. Shot clock and quarter clock. Open three again. Knocked in the air, and that'll be a shot clock violation with 4.4 to go in the third. After Columbia started with an 8-0 run, Patrick on the drive, can't get a shot off, and Kansas controlled that third. That's what's at stake. Teams playing for a championship and a trophy here in the WNIT. Game number 6 from 64 teams down to these two, Columbia and Kansas.
But listen,
look at that.
The blue, look at that shot there, return blue. They would love to see that, and it's not out of reach. Columbia's got to continue to share the basketball, get some movement, and they can climb their way back into this in the fourth quarter.
Bounce pass knocked away. Chu again has to step out from range. The threes haven't fallen at the same rate they normally do for Columbia. Mayberry almost too fast down the floor. She was the one addition to this Kansas team. The transfer from Tulsa, been running the point for this Jayhawk squad.
Coach Snyder said she's been one of the biggest impact players of their newcomers this season.
Davis just stuffed Prater on the drive. See Jackson in the middle. She just picked up her 20th rebound of the game, and she's trending towards a 20-20.
There's some activity down the baseline. You see the drive here, the block then by Caitlin Davis. Prater didn't like that. She got up, had something to say about it. A lot on the line here for both teams. A little bit spicy here on the baseline, but nothing of consequence. Just didn't appreciate the taunt.
Two shots and the ball.
Prater is this team's emotional leader. Prater, as you see, she's not going to back down. She's going to let you know she didn't like something. I agree. I think this is something that could possibly fuel a run.
So a chance for a 4 or a 5-point possession for Columbia.
It's a lot of standing for Columbia right now. They've got to continue to move the ball. That's where they have found success.
Davis will rise, shoot, and score. Just her second field goal make of the game.
Yeah, Caitlin Davis, her teammates call her the unicorn, you know, or some people like to call her KD as well, but she has a sweet mid-range game, a nice soft touch. That's an open shot. She can knock it down.
She's got a year remaining. Mayberry hit a couple of early threes, her first in the second half.
This is what you want at the end of the season. This is what you play for, these moments.
That was a determined drive. Oh, there's going to be a foul. Just 3 total fouls on these teams in the fourth quarter. Franklin, the veteran, the drive, and another whistle. 87% free throw shooter. Don't miss PBR, Unleash the Beast, right here on CBS Sports Network. 2 knockdowns from Franklin.
This is a Columbia team that averages about 78 points per game. They're the leading scoring team in the Ivy League, and right now they're stuck at 45.
Kitty Henderson said, oh my God, she couldn't believe the foul in Kansas. Coach Griffith, this is her alma mater. She talked about the gratitude. She was a head coach at the age of 30. I mean, one of the youngest in the country. She has built a tremendous program, trying to take them to a different height. Already the first time in the championship game. Another rebound for Jackson. She'll score, and a chance for one more.
Tiana Jackson on the interior. There's the miss, but the rebound, again, she has the inside position, is able to score and finish, and the big girl is fired up. The fist pump, all the emotion from Miss Jackson.
They call her twin. She's got a twin sister.
Well, her sister is actually here somewhere in Allen Fieldhouse. She has a twin sister that plays for IUP Northwest.
Nice up fake from Davis. She got Jackson in the air but could not finish. Her sis.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, sis.
She's cheering loud and proud. Go number 1, I think is what she said. Coach Griffith has known Davis since the 8th grade. In fact, She was at Princeton when she started recruiting.
I mean, we get it. She is a warrior indeed, and she's someone that has really been the glue.
Shu has been quiet. She's got the basketball. Defended by Prater. Her pass was knocked away. Pass into Henderson. How much has the length of Kansas disrupted Columbia in the second half?
I think a lot. You see it right here on that play. Their length is causing deflections, taking them completely out of their rhythm. Look at Davis.
How about that rebound?
Yes, look at her sky for that ball.
Elevate for the Cara. Up over Jackson. That was pretty.
The lines are sagging on the interior, Brett. Not going to give an easy look to Jackson. To Franklin.
Chance to not only win a championship, but to do it on their home floor.
And that's huge. Building community. That's what the WNIT championship game helps programs do. So teams that find success in this tournament genuinely have a really great future ahead of them.
This was a Kansas team that started 10-0, 500 in league play, trying to win a title. But right now, Columbia needs answers, and they need them quickly. Tough step back three by Shu. Henderson just competing to get that rebound. She'll pull the trigger. That would not stay down. Boy, there's no give up in the Lions, and the arrow is going to be in favor of Kansas.
Columbia going to apply some pressure and hopes to create a turnover and get a quick, easy basket. And they did.
There's the steal. And the lay-in, much needed from Jada Patrick. Remember, Columbia had 8 points in 60-plus seconds to begin the third quarter. Need to find that magic again. Oh, that's lost out of bounds. Kennedy saying it should be Columbia ball. I think they're going to go take a look. Oh, that's going to be Columbia ball.
It is going to be Columbia basketball.
Indeed. And this crowd will try and be a factor one more time.
A lot of times, so.
That's a tough bounce pass. Out of bounds to Kansas.
Kitty Henderson's not going to be able to finish on the inside with the length that's on her.
Do you play this out or do you foul?
I think you're going to try to foul. You want to try to extend the game. I don't think. Yes. I don't think there's an opportunity today. Team that shoots about 75% from the line on the season, the Jayhawks do.
Big number. And Mayberry will reach double figures. And it stays a 7-point game. Still time for the Lions. Taken away by Mayberry. Active hands. And Columbia feels like they have to foul, and Henderson will.
Coach Griffith knows the opportunity her team had in that possession. Columbia with 17 turnovers as well.
Columbia able to advance with the timeout. Henderson trying to get it in. Davis to Shu, open look for one of the few times she'll bank it in. Back to a 6-point game. The Lions can't get the steal, and Mayberry fouled by Henderson. And Yvette Mayberry back to the stripe for 2 more. There's Dad Lee, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, 7 years in the NBA. And Yvette has 3 older sisters, and she's got a younger sister who might be the best of the bunch.
Listen, basketball is in her blood, athleticism in her family.
That's coaching a lot of women's basketball. How about another block? The scramble for the ball. Shu left open. Wide open shot. Patrick can't coax it in. Rebound to Prater, and it's a tie-up. It'll stay Columbia basketball. So Pratt to pull the trigger. There's the lob. Blocked by Davis. How about a 3-pointer from Davis?
It's a lot that has to go right for them right now, but I do think the way they shoot the three-point ball, there's an opportunity.
Kansas advanced as well with the timeout. Now just trying to get the ball in. And they will. The Hurskater have to foul quickly. And finally, Holly Hurskater. Double figures in 7 straight games. She may not get there today, but she had a big second half three. In fact, all of her points have come in the second half. She'll coax that one in. Rivera controlling. Chu. Let's fly with the three. Rock, Shark, Jayhawk. KU has walked the walk and run off 6 straight W's to win a WNIT championship.